Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of possibly of Rearview. We don't know. As I've mentioned in the past, most of the recent reviews brought to you by one person, well, by two, by me and the person who sent in 17 sets of tires in a box, mostly tires of yore for me to test because we want to fill, we want to poke them on, we want to come out of Pallet Town, ash catch them all. We want to quick view, rear view, redux every tire that you can think of. We want to test them all. I realize that there are probably some logistical issues there, but we want to test them all. So the one we're testing today might be a rear view, but it might not, because the gentleman who sent them in said himself, I don't know if these are real. And that is because they are Ottsix. These are Ottsix Schisms from way back in ye olden times. And Ottsix, at least to the knowledge that I have, has experienced some supply chain issues, let's call them, in the past, where like maybe there was something about payment or contracts or whatever. The KLRs, the little KLRs, the class 1 KLR, I want to say KLR-Ms, we don't know how many of those are real and are actually in Ottsix Red, and we don't know how many of those are fake. The gentleman who sent these in says he does not know if they are real or fake. And as I have mentioned in the past, my knowledge of crawler stuff does not go back to the time when these were made. So I didn't even know they were knocking off tires way back then in the olden times. So what we'll do is while we're indoors, we'll go through the usual thing. I will talk about mounting them. They mounted very easily because the rubber, honestly, the rubber smells like a Pep Boys. It smells like tires, like car tires. And typically RC car tires don't smell like that. There's a lot more exotic stuff in the rubber. 140 dead. That is 5.5 inches by 62. That's getting up there. That's getting up there in width. You're talking about Rover. You're talking about Pink Dot Rover type of width. I want to say those come out around 66. These are fitted with a foam that upon compression feels far too soft. But this rubber feels very, very hard, like alarmingly hard when you can get this action. And beyond that, if we take it to the test, it's a bit of a noise that I don't want to hear come off of a tire. The lug feels just so hard. So we don't know if these are genuine or not. We will operate as if they are, and we'll make every effort to put them on the score. But because in every tire we've tested from times from gone by, they've all been some level of phenomenal. I want to say somewhere in the mid 97s is the lowest that we've encountered. So if we take that first bite at Slick Rock and we get nothing, we will have to progress forward, assuming that that's the brand new one. That these are not the genuine article. We'll operate as of now, assuming that they are. Boy, they're wild looking, aren't they? That tread. That is not a tread like anybody else's. Looks kind of like a dinosaur. Like that's its leg and that's its tail, a little bit like a dinosaur. There's some real stuff going on with this tread. Ottsix Schism. These go way back. Are they the real thing? We're going to find out. If they are, we're going to find out how good they are. And if they're not, we're going to find out how good they aren't. Okay, regardless of how these do, and I am genuinely concerned as the sound that they make while moving over the ground is distressing. They sound like a car that doesn't want to stop on the freeway, but it has a flat tire. So it goes wop, 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 wop. That's kind of what they sound like. But we can acknowledge that we are testing a tire that has a name, not just an assortment of letters, but just one vowel. Schism. Just the I in the middle. Oh. They make a lot of noise. Ladies and gentlemen, real or fake, and one has to presume fake at this point. We've finally gotten there. We've finally gotten to a tire of yore, where, as I mentioned, I didn't even know they cloned stuff back then. Whatever this is made out of, it's not right. I'm trying to find a spot where we can get any... Oh. There we go. There we go. And yet, here we are. You know what? The assumption would be that these are fake, because we know what red compound from Ottsix will do. So we assume this isn't that. At the same time, it still kind of goes. So we are going to be into the full scoring. We're going to be into junk view adjacent scoring. That's not bad on the turn-in. I'm going to be honest. I think we might be able to get out of that. No, we can definitely. They don't have. They just have enough grip to kind of pirouette us around, but certainly not enough grip to put us back on these tires. So in the scoring, if you don't know, now you'll know. Oh no. Because the generation of it is somewhat arbitrary, a 7.5 means the rig can just barely do it, and perhaps not repeatably. If we had failed to make it to the top of Slick Rock here, that's what earns you a 5, the unimaginable 5. This is like, oh, okay, so we can sort of do that aspect. So that's a little bit of a bump. Let's come across here. They feel almost remarkably agile for something that doesn't really exhibit very much forward drive. Yeah, once they get loaded, yeah, there's the amount of control in them on this surface is remarkably low. So this will be an excellent installment, as this can show people that think that there's a witchcraft going on with Wolverine. The first part of me says 8.2 for this take on the obstacle, which is very, very bad. And for a class 3, certainly as bad as we've seen. You know what? I'll work on that score when we get to the next one. We genuinely have an opportunity for a 5 right here, because you have to be able to do it. Oh, that is a catastrophic amount of lug noise. Bouncing, councing. You're not on it yet. There we go. That's a lot of wheel speed. Certainly for a class 3, the most wheel speed we've had to use. There's just, like the German guy that I need to look him up in Truth in 24 that says noise is power lost. That is certainly true in this event. On flat ground though, we'll cut in reasonably well.
just soak in. Oh, that was pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I am pretty comfortable. Come on, can we bump it over? Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna go up a little. I'm gonna stay on the 8.2 on Slick Rock. I'm gonna give it an 8.4 for that. I'm gonna go 8.4. I thought about 8.5. 8.4 for a. Now I'm just viewing it as a clone, and in clone terms, this is certainly better than most. There is an amount of forward drive. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there. All right, very loud. Pardon me. Very loud, very scrabbly. But you know what? We're gonna have a real oddball score here. That was in the 9s. Cut back, over and back. So this is the problem. Find it. Yeah, they need a decent amount of wheel speed, and I think that's because the compound is pretty much remarkably hard. So much lug noise. That was solidly okay. I would go a full point. I would go a 9.4. Like that's better than many. It's amazing to see so little performance on Slick Rock and then come around. Like, I thought the maneuverability of this, after just the first 2 spots, I thought the maneuverability was going to be non-existent. So I'm trying at really low wheel speed. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think a 9.4 is accurate. We're going to have the Schism with a single vowel with an I, S, almost in the middle. We might have the biggest disparity in scoring, like between the highest and lowest score. I just have this suspicion that we're going to see potentially flashes of decency, if not brilliance, interspersed with just a lack of drive. Yeah, there's a defined point where traction falls away, and I can try the other side here. Oh, it's just noise. Oh, that's kind of something special. That is no mechanical. I could see the axle wasn't stuck in. We just had no more drive. You get to a certain degree of incline and the drive is gone. And while beans is often the answer, it's not always the answer. You've got to make, by hook or by crook, regardless of the line, you've got to make it to the top. Like right there, that was quite nice. There's so much giveaway. Come on. If I get out left of that point, it's not going to happen. And you cannot position back. You can give it so much wheel speed. Ooh, I did not like that landing. And for good reason. I thought I heard the pop. So Tumbledore claims yet another rod end, and unless I'm wrong, we might have bent the chassis just a little bit more. The Element is a great rod end. It is just definitely not the most durable one out there. I break them quite a lot. I'm gonna say we have no chance of making this side. None. Because it's just gonna keep shuttling us towards the opening there. And these don't have, like, precision and accuracy. They feel pretty good on flat ground, any sort of incline, and they just scooch everywhere. So let's try to go as fence side as we can. Okay, all right. Now, shuttled. Yeah, there's absolutely no chance. We don't have enough grip. Okay, easiest route up, we'll take it home a 7.5. You've got it, you have to make it to the top. Oh, there's just so much slip. That's a bad fall waiting to happen. A little bit slower. Okay, okay. All right. Hey, and now we'll get to see a little bit of a descent here. Whoo! No, they're fine so long as you don't ask them to do anything remotely difficult. Now you see, for me, these are coming back around because we've got a 1.9 point disparity between best and worst score, and you just don't see that. There is so much slide right there. Width and bulk are going to keep us planted down reasonably well. What if we're trying to do anything? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of okay. That's kind of not. Oh, so much slip. This is a bizarre tire. Absolutely bizarre. It will abjectly fail and then be sort of decent the very next aspect, and then rolls it. Basically, if you're looking at a high scoring class 3, I never have to get up. I only get up to move the cameras. I don't have to get up to get to the rig. Okay, no steering input. Yeah, there's no precision. Like, especially when it's any amount of weight transfer, a tiny amount of weight transfer, and this thing just goes wherever it wants now. That was a 7.5 over there. Over here, like, it will hold it. I can't. It's got to be below a 9. Like, I was thinking, I mean, it looks reasonably decent, but it's not 9 plus because it just slides around too much. Let me look at it one more time. Yeah, there's too much. Yeah, enough drive to move. Yeah, no, I'll bump it 2/10. I was gonna go 8.8. You know what? I'll go 9. It doesn't matter at this point. This is academics. It's nearly impossible to come back from a 7.5. I feel like we're gonna see something completely unpredictable. A little struggle bus on there. Yeah, but enough drive to push through. How's the push back here? Yeah, there's just no precision, but we managed to get over the top in a way that, like, not a lot of tires have done. How about here? Are we gonna get a fall away? No, we're not. I think we might be a little too high over white side, but the rear end just slides away. If we can get that rear to move back towards yellow and then cut back again. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. I'm going to go out on a limb here. If you are in a incredibly high grip environment, if you're in the 12 grit rock of the California desert of southwest Utah, just driving on Velcro, these will, I mean, anything will work, you know, that's how that works. But these would also work. That turnaround, sharper than I would have anticipated, and it will push through just fine. If it gets a real lot of load on a lug, it can maneuver. There's just so much lug noise. I don't know what is going on. There's a terrible wizardry going on right now, which is in just the precisely right set of circumstances, these could fool you. You'd be like, hey, that's not bad. Anytime that tire is challenged, it doesn't like it. Up. What? Yeah, repeatability. Okay, can we? It's almost like, it's like having an evil twin. This tire is not here to help you. It will do the job begrudgingly. It's genuinely difficult for me to, you know what? As I said, it's impossible to come back. I'm going to give it a 9.4 for this. Which, I mean, basically turns a 7.5 into what, an 8.45? So rounding up, call it an 8.5. I don't know if I can, I'm trying to remember. Has there ever been a tire that did a 7.5 and a 9.4 on the same thing? No, I mean, usually, and I forecast at least one more. Maybe below a 7.5. Every new obstacle is a surprise with these. Soft side, ton of lug noise. And really reasonably good. Do we have enough grip for the other side? Kinda no. This is the easier side generally. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. Right there, cut back. Yeah, this tire is not here to help you. Center cut, which we generally do on a class 3. Which pushes it back right. Oh. It is the lug noise commander. We're going to do a halvesy on that one. It's not a 7.5 because we pulled one side, we almost pulled the middle. It should usually be around like a low 8. It should be a low 8. Let me see. Let me see the soft side again. Steering reasonably sharp, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of push out, fall back. Yeah, it's a low 8. It's a low 8. Forward drive should be reasonably bad. Yeah, there's no, like, it's not even that we're in between. We're not getting that usual telltale hop. We're just getting no forward movement. But pretty good, of course. Pretty good on the bump. You have to go, you've got to go like 50% throttle. Like, it's a bump. You've got to shoot this. It's just not high enough. We need a really, really high grip surface. Oh, I want to see that fall back. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. The bump itself reasonably straight. If you don't catch the bump in just the right spot, it's going to fall back just like you would think it would because there's just not a lot of grip in the tire. Daphne's third. We'll go an 8.4. We love those 8.4s. The bump, I'm going to give like what a random prescription here. I'm going to give it like an 8. Yeah, let's go to around 9. We'll give it around 9 because we've got 2 left. We've got Teardrop. We've got the replacement for Teardrop. We've got Hans Booby, which is a gate. And then we've got Wet. And oh my God, I cannot imagine these getting any better on Wet. This score is crazy. So we fully accept that we have no idea if this is going to make it through. Whoa! Yeah, it does not like that. Does not like that. This is reasonably high grip here. And then once we get over to the top, it's not high grip. Just show me. Just make this. And then I'll be like, yep, there we go. Oh, there's a solid Wolverine thud. So once we're out onto that slicky section, the barrows, it's not happening. That's decent, okay? So we're going to ignore markers and we're just going to try to go across top. There's just nothing here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. There's something resembling grip. Almost. I would put it above a 7.5. There's no positionability. Again, these get to that level of incline and then they give you nothing. But that is a level of forward drive above certainly Amazon garbage. So even the knockoffs, I'm operating under the assumption that this is fake because I've experienced some fake Ottsix in the past. Oh, it gets proper glassy up there on the top. I'm going to operate from an assumption, and I have been since probably about the second station. Since we hit Staircase, I've been just operating under the assumption that these are fake. They have more grip than they do positionability, except in the instances when they have more positionability than they have grip. They are unpredictable. They are gentlemen sent from the government. They are not here to help you. Yeah, and when you split that differential, when it's one axle trying to work independently of the other, it's not gonna give it. So I'm gonna throw that number down. Like we got across the top. That's close to like a 9 in terms of that grip, and then the maneuverability is pretty bad. We will throw it a unique one here. I'm gonna go for an 8.8. 8.8 gets you up the top, but not predictably, not repeatably, and certainly we're not going to clear this as a gate. My expectations for Wet are remarkably low because we haven't really seen a lot in terms of forward drive, and then it will just do a thing. It'll be like, haha, I can actually do it. So maybe not a 5. I don't want... I almost completed a thought there of I don't want to see a 5. That's not entirely true. I kind of do want to see a 5. Because if we see a 5, we will see a tire with unquestionably the biggest split between highest and lowest score. And I mean, that's something. That's a Lanterne Rouge sort of moment. No, it's got it. It's got it. It is sort of a measurable drop from where it was before. But not near, yeah. There was a part of me, a non-secret part of me, that was hoping that these would just turn into glass on the Wet, but they have not. Yeah. I wouldn't consider that a reduction in traction, realistically, at all. At all. Let's triple down on that. See, they're wet onto a dry surface. That's actually a little better. That's actually a little better. And as it doesn't matter where the scores land in terms of aspect, because we're doing a little bit of number moveration here, I will bump the dry score and just write the dry score in for the wet, because I would have given it an 8. I know I would have gone higher than the 8.2 wet. I would have, I really would have. I would have gone higher than an 8.2 wet. This was decent. I mean, it's certainly not good. But it's kind of almost repeatable. You know what? I've got some thinking to do. I realize that it doesn't matter, and that is tremendously freeing, because the scores went 849490, 8494, 8475, 90, 88, 82. You can't recover from a 7.5. You just can't. That is a final score of 88.5. And yeah, that's probably about right. That's a strong 88. That's a high 88. You could go potentially higher, but I don't think you should, because what's happening is there are moments where all you want is you're just like, could I please just have a little bit of grip? And this tire is not here to help you. It will not give you the grip that you ask for when you need it the most. I have now opened the spreadsheet and I'm looking to see who is, okay, who else got an 88.5? The Red Cat Terrain MT9. This is better than a Red Cat Terrain MT9. If the Cross Velociraptor got a 90.9, I would put this, yeah, I would call this like between a 91 and a 92 overall. In looking at things globally, right? I stand behind the 88.5, which is an arbitrarily chosen number, but I genuinely do think that it's more close to a 91, which for a fake tire is reasonably good. There's only really a couple good fake tires out there in the world. I would not consider this one of them. This is not a tire I would recommend. It does really pique the interest of how good is the real thing. If this is the real thing, oy. That's really bad. That's really bad. On the scorecard, it's an 88.5. I would just round some of those numbers up to an even 91. 91 even, I think, is fair. Not that it matters. Know that if you see them, and here's another one of those. I can buy those. Can you? Because these got bought, and I cannot believe these to be real Ottsix Schisms. If they are, my God, Ottsix has gotten a lot better at making tires than they used to be. I think they're clones, just like clones that we see of the MT... KLR MTX? Does that sound right? You'll find as many fake ones of those as you will the real ones. So if you see the Ottsix Schism available on the internet, just know you might get something potentially phenomenal. I have to imagine that I'm imagining that tire, what we're looking at right now, in red, in the competition red, what was it, Vex Red? Probably up there, like up there, 97s, 98s, just based on that. Like, it's even more rupture than a rupture kind of tread pattern. But in this compound, you're looking at somewhere between an 88 and a 91. And, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. there are a lot of other options, you know. Thank goodness. Thank goodness the White Rover is still out there. Thank goodness we have options. Because, I mean, it's a crazy looking tire, but maybe there's a reason that it isn't still around. I don't know. Take it as you will. Apply as many grains of salt as you find suitable and necessary. The Ottsix Schism, in whatever compound these are made out of, somewhere between an 88.5 and a 91.5. I would give it a nice even 91 just so I feel better about it. I feel amazing about thanking you so very much for watching, inviting you to tune in for whatever we happen to have next, putting any questions, comments, or concerns below, particularly if you have any Ottsix Schism experience, like, oh no, if somebody says, oh no, I have the real ones and they're terrible, let me know. We will see you next time here from the Canyon. Every day is a good day with Wolverine, and I hope that this goes at least some small distance to proving that there is no witchcraft in him. If you give him a terrible tire, he can make a 91 out of it. We have enough time on the timer and enough battery on the battery to maybe drive out of frame. Maybe. His battery usually dies on the drive back to the shop, and then I have to carry 2 tripods, a rig, and a radio all at once. I need like a baby Bjorn for him.